These are devotions for people at a social distance. My devotions recently have taken me through the book of Proverbs, and it really does seem to be a very relevant book to be reading in our times. One particular proverb that I read this morning spoke to me, struck me. It's from Proverbs chapter 11 and the 14th verse. When there is no guidance, a nation falls. But in abundance of counselors, there is safety. So when there is no guidance, a nation falls, but in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. Now, that probably says many things about where we are as a nation right now and all of that, but that's not particularly what struck me as I read that this morning. It was thinking about how, and this is a very real problem that I think many people are struggling with these days. We are living in a huge information age, and we have informations coming at us from all kinds of sources. And you want a particular point of view or a particular piece of information, you can probably go find it on the internet somewhere. And how do you know who to listen to? How do you not know who to listen to? And if you have decided that you don't believe in vaccines, you can go out there and you can find a doctor who will tell you all kinds of reasons why vaccines are bad. These kinds of sources of information exist. So how do we sort through this? How do we figure out where to go? How do we find the guidance we need? Well, this proverb says, in an abundance of counselors, there is safety. and I think that's a key point for where we are right now. Like I say, you want to find a piece of information or somebody will tell you, oh, masks are bad or something. You can probably find some source out there that will say that. But that scientist or doctor, whoever they may be, or they may not even have any degrees, will probably be standing out there all alone. And over against them, you have like the medical establishment over here. You have an abundance of people over here who are saying something different. To whom should you give the weight? And what we're seeing a lot, of course, is that people will simply give weight to what they have already decided they want to do or what they want to believe, where the Bible is teaching us is to seek out those abundance of voices who are saying basically the same thing. And so as we sort through some of these difficult issues, vaccination, public health, things that we need to do to protect one another in the midst of a pandemic, the truth about global warming and its effects. Do you go and seek out that one voice that seems to be saying what you want to hear? Yes, I understand that's tempting because we all want that confirmation that of that thing that we already decided to hear. But the harder work is to go to see that abundance of counselors out there and say, well, what is their consensus and where are they coming from? And if, as this proverb suggests, the very health of the nation, not just the individual, but the nation is at stake in how we sift through and sort through this kind of information. So there is a little bit of very timely advice from the book of Proverbs. Lord our God, as we sift through all of this information that is coming from us from all different sources, teach us the wisdom that comes to us from the book of Proverbs. Help us to, despite whatever inclination we have to do otherwise, to seek out that abundance of counselors and listen to true wisdom. Amen.